administrative reports. Yeah, sure.
Okay. And I'm assuming Dave's told you state employees.
Stop and do the color marker finally.
Good. Call to order the May 8th, 2024 meeting of the Leechburg Area School District. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. Roll call, please. Here.
Mr. Dunlap. Ms. Knight. Here. Mr. Leppert.
Here.
Mr. Lovelace.
Here.
Mr. Maxson.
Here.
Mr. Paulus.
Here.
Ms. Stewart. Mr. Townsend.
Here.
If we can just, Miss Stewart, I thought, going to have her on the phone. Did we call her?
Somebody had to call her.
Okay.
Somebody has to call, yeah.
Hello,
Hey Candy, how are you tonight?
I'm all right.
Perfect.
Yes.
Hope you're feeling better on that.
I'm not bad.
That's good. So we got you on call here. Just going around for roll call, and you can listen on as we go.
Okay, I'm fine, thank you.
Okay. So we have Miss Stewart, right? Okay.
Yes. Can you hear me?
We sure can.
Okay.
All right. Administrative reports. We're going to take the LEA report yet so that Mr. Brochek can leave. Oh, do we have any? We don't have any public comment this evening.
Good evening, everybody. On behalf of Ms. Mondale and the LEA, I am excited to be here tonight to tell you all about the fun and exciting things going on in all of our classrooms as we wind down this school year. Kindergarten is preparing and practicing daily for their graduation, which will be held on Friday, May 24th at 1 p.m. in the auditorium. Students will be performing 3 choreographed songs on stage, will be recognized, and a video presentation will be shown. Kindergarten is also at the point in the year where they are constantly reviewing and practicing everything they have learned, including blending CVC words, long vowel sounds, approximately 80 heart words, digraphs and blends, number recognition, addition and subtraction, tens frames, place value, shapes, measurement, and intro to money. On Friday, April 19th, first grade students did a walking tour of Leechburg businesses on Market Street with a stop at Leechburg Public Library. Students were able to see all of the opportunities available to them through the library. Miss Patty read the students Jump Frog Jump by Robert Callan and then had the kids make a frog craft using toilet paper rolls, green construction paper, googly eyes, and a party blower for the tongue. The PTA provided a pizza lunch from the Leechburg Pizza Company for students and chaperones to enjoy. Third grade will be going to the Outdoor Discovery Center at Crooked Creek Park for their field trip. Students will take a nature hike and learn about local plant and animal life. Hands-on activities will be done as they learn about owls, trees, and also create a nature journal. During social studies, 5th grade students learned all about the Flight 93 Memorial in preparation for their field trip last week. Students gained an appreciation for the act of bravery and heroism that was displayed by the passengers of United Flight 93 on September 11th. The first ever DLE Science Olympiad will be held on May 15th to 17th. Teams of students in grades 3 to 5 will compete in 10 fun, hands-on science events and activities. First, second, and third place teams will be determined in an awards ceremony will be held to recognize the top teams. We are looking forward to an awesome few science days to wrap up the year. A small group of juniors and seniors placed flags on the graves of over 1,500 veterans in preparation for Memorial Day. A group of middle and high school students earned a reward day at Zone 28. Those students had to meet behavioral and academic goals in order to participate. Students from the Interact Club had a cleanup day at the Leechburg area pool. This past Monday, leadership auditions for the marching band happened. The students who earned a leadership role for this upcoming season will learn those roles on Friday as I'm on my way out the building. The marching band will be performing on the Memorial Day Parade at 10 o'clock, where the new leadership will have their first assignment of conducting the Star-Spangled Banner. This past Friday, 9 students in grades 6 to 9 represented Leechburg at PMEA District 3 Band Fest up in Brookville. They played in either a 6th and 7th grade band or an 8th and 9th grade band with 170 other students from 21 schools across 5 counties. They gave up their day off and rehearsed all day and culminated with a concert last Friday night that was really, really fantastic. Tomorrow evening, the beginning band will have their concert alongside the intermediate and 3rd grade choirs at 7 o'clock. Next Thursday at 7 o'clock, the taiko and jazz ensembles will perform their spring concert. PSSAs are now completed, but we are now gearing up for Keystones to start next week. And finally, please check your emails for an invitation to high school graduation, which will be held on Wednesday, May 29th at 7 p.m. at Vets Field. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Robinson?
Eric's going to cover for Ms. Robson.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm not Miss Robson. Is this thing on? Good evening, members of the board, community members, and students. I'm Eric Michael Flores, tech specialist for LASD here, along with Katie Robson, my manager. Just a few things to go over with you today. We're hard at work preparing for summer. We have sent first communication to families regarding the device returns coming up very soon. We wanted to let you know that we are running one-to-one damage claims. That's the insurance plan that we implemented at the beginning of the year. We have a total of 63 outstanding claims totaling $8,000, which could actually purchase 24 or more Chromebooks. Only 6 claims have actually been paid for a total of $430. That's only a 6% recoup at this point on the insurance. And the parents haven't paid. We have also handled approximately 370 Chromebook issues, approximately 1/3 of them which were handled by HP through our extended warranty, so that's no cost to us. We will be working on copier installation, updating PCs to Windows 11, and using access cards for staff attendance. We'll be working closely with Teresa on that, and I believe Vanessa as well, and Jamie. Okay. Yeah, we're working with HR and payroll to manage digital forms for that as well. So what you'll do is you'll come in and you'll swipe your key card. That'll take your attendance. When you walk out, you swipe it again. That logs you out for the day. Quicker attendance, no sign-in sheets, et cetera, et cetera. We will also be moving our Raptor visitor management license scanners to outside into the vestibules of each office for security reasons. When a visitor comes in, they will scan their license outside the office, not inside. And the secretaries will be able to tell whether or not we're able to let them in. It's an immediate scan of their driver's license, so we can kind of get a feed on who they are. Mr. Paulus brought up an issue everybody's having with board docs on their Chromebooks. I will be sending an email out tomorrow to all the board members on how to clear your cache. I believe that's what the issue is. It's a very simple procedure, and I have a step-by-step instruction manual on how to do it. It'll take you 3 to 5 minutes, something like that. Hopefully that corrects the issue. One thing outside of technology I want to mention, I had the privilege to DJ the junior senior prom this year at 10th Street Station in Freeport. I would like to commend the students that attended and for their behavior. In my 37 years as a DJ, this is probably the best behavior that I've seen at any prom or school dance. Honestly, I think everybody should know this here. And the board members, teachers, and members of the community should be very, very proud of these students. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you very much.
Mhm.
Mr. Komar.
Hi, good evening, everyone. So you'll notice a theme through the things that I'll talk about, as I go through these and see if anybody can pick up on it. So the first thing I always talk about is the student of the month. This was our last month in May. So we successfully completed student of the month and staff members of the month for the high school, middle school, and the staff member. It worked really well. Again, the board's right out here outside of the library. I noticed people, visitors looking at it, people coming in. Some of the staff members and kids were really proud to be up there. So that was really good. The big thanks to the student councils for running that. That's not something that one person can do. It is a big undertaking. And also Mrs. Klein in the office for keeping the board. So want to up this for next year. This was good, but I think we can do better. Dr. Keebler and I were talking about some ideas for student of the month, making it a K-12, and also recognizing those members at board meetings, being able to bring those people in and those students in and those staff members and, just giving a shout out at, some positive recognition. So the next piece is transition. Our next transition team meeting is May 16th. We've had a number of job shadows. Again, I spoke with Dr. Keebler at length on transition, where we are as a district and what we can do better. So much like student of the month, we're aiming for some higher goals next year. I had some really, really lofty goals coming in. We hit some of those we didn't attain. I think we made some growth in the area of transition, but again, next year I have some ideas on how we can push that even further. For LEAPS, MTSS, and Renew, we have a student finishing the Renew program. It's a 10-week program. Is finishing on a Friday, so I'm very, very happy that he's gone through and completed the program. Be our first successful person to go start to finish in the Renew program. We'll be spending, these last couple weeks in May closing out our SAP, MTSS, and LEAPS referrals. In June, I'm going to meet with the MTSS team, myself, as well as some liaisons from the IU to try to, again, enhance what we're doing with MTSS, especially at MTSS, and then lead that into the LEAPS program at the middle school and high school as well. Again, very successful year. I met with the MTSS team today. Happy that we met with Fidelity twice a month. We really worked through some issues with some kids and really tried to build the program. I think there's another level there as far as organization, how things are set up, and how we can run that to even make that program even better. So in June, like I said, we'll be kind of putting some of those pieces together with some specialists, and then also linking that to our PBIS program as well. I'll have a specialist from PBIS and from MTSS meeting with our team to try to put some of those pieces together again to enhance that program. In the world of special education, we have 19 meetings held or to be held in May for IEPs, GIEPs, or 504s. I'm also doing all the early intervention meetings for any incoming kindergarten students that would be identified. We'll be holding those meetings as well. Any questions for me? Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to commend Mr. Komar just on those two programs, and not only just for the work he did on that, but the reflection. Our meeting yesterday really went into depth of what we were trying to do with the program and really analyzing what was successful, what we can really work on to grow to really get it to where we're looking for and really to have an exceptional program on that. So I do thank the work he put into putting it together, but not only that work, the reflection of what he thought about, how he dug into it, and how those changes will make moving forward. So thank you, Mr. Komar.
Thank you.
I have Adam's update. He had an emergency at home. There was some water damage he's working on this evening in his kitchen. So he did send me this, and part of this would have come from mine. But some updates that's going on with maintenance right now. Dobil is meeting with Dobil to work on the fire equipment. They're coming in tomorrow at noon to meet with Adam and myself. Looking at the fire alarms, we've got some training, but when things were going off, we would have to wait a couple days till they come in. It would keep beeping. It would keep doing some things. So we're going to talk with them of what does the equipment lifespan look like and what do we need to be trained on, because there's been no training on that. So after tomorrow's meeting, we'll both have an update on that. Part of my update as well, Monday the 13th, we're meeting with McClure, and this is really the big bite of what we're going to put into our grant for facility upgrades for the district. We're going to talk the big grant that's out there right now that's due at the end of the month, talks about roofs, boilers, and HVAC, which are the three major concerns we have at the district right now. That's a 75-25 matching grant. So they did the work, they got the quotes in there for us, and we're able to use those quotes moving forward to be able to put that grant together and get it submitted. The awning out front, when we were going through the door handle grant and I read through the police report, it came up once again that you could not see the front door of the high school from the street. It's ripped up, it's torn. So we had both Laurel and Venango awning come in. We're going to work with them to have it replaced with the goal of getting rid of the overhang that comes down the steps. So it'll simply be the front at the top of the steps where it's flat. We're going to cut the poles off and cap them there. So you'll still have the railing to get up the steps on it, but it won't be hanging down. You'll be able to see the front door from the street as we do that upgrade on that part of it. Baseball field, if anybody's been up there, Dur Edge finished the baseball field last week. Adam did call me today. He stopped up this morning. We had all the rain last night. There was not a spot of standing water. So it was awesome that they finally got the lasering in. And if anybody was up there while they did it, it was pretty amazing. They set the laser up and all their machines were working off the laser as it picked the dart up and moved it. I will share that they said that they've done 2 contracts to replace or fix straws work in the past that did that. And they also have, as a Dur Edge, as a company, will no longer sell dirt to straw due to the field work they've done through there. So I thought that was kind of interesting of what we were doing. Eastern Elevator and Alpine were here Tuesday, May 7th, which was yesterday. Everything passed on our elevator inspection, and there are no major issues at this time. The auditorium stage inspection, Pittsburgh Stage has completed the annual stage inspection. Some recommendations, repairs. He called Jeff Greenwald to schedule them and come out to get quotes for those repairs on that. I had him reach out to North American Fencing, and it was brought to my attention again that the playground, when we fenced that all in and put the gate down at the bottom, we eliminated the gate over by the art and music room that used to be the old kindergarten rooms, which takes it out of handicap compliance. So if anybody's in that area, you have to go up through all the dirt and grass and mulch to get out. So there's no way out because it's steps going down. So we're going to get a quote to put a gate in right there where the old gate was. I'm not sure what happened when that was replaced, why the gate was eliminated on there. It was brought up, but I want to make sure that's fixed so that we're in compliance with that. The dishwasher project is Hobart will be here on June 3rd to install the new dishwasher in the kitchen, and Ironside Electric will be doing the electrical service to service the new dishwasher. He received quotes from Builders Hardware and Global and waiting on Shearer for the door hardware. And that was part of the grant. We updated and sent them the state police report. That was the final step for them to release the money to do the door handles as part of that competitive grant. But we wanted to make sure we had 3 bids in place so that we were following the UGG rules that we needed. And last but not least, the cafeteria table project. He has 2 quotes ready from Pemco and Kurtz for new cafeteria tables, and he's setting up a virtual visit with Lakeshore to go on. And just like we used the extra money from the cafeteria this year to purchase the new dishwasher, our plan this summer would be with that leftover money to purchase new tables so that we have matching tables in the cafeteria. It was an issue to start the school year this year. Tables broke. We didn't have replacements with them. We ended up losing about 40 seats in there. So our elementary kids, 4th grade, actually comes into the library in the morning to sit and have breakfast with that because they couldn't all fit in there. So that's something else that will go on. Maintenance is going to remove the chin-up bars on the playground. That came in on the safety audit that it was not safe for those bars to be there with the wooden and cement at the bottom. So they're going to rip those out, save them on there, but we're going to get them out of the playground. Does anybody have any questions that they'd like me to get updates from Adam on? Thank you.
Business report, Ms. Ettinger.
I'll go over some things that are just on the agenda for you guys for this month. We're busy right now in the business office. May is open enrollment month, so this is a time when any of our employees can make changes to their healthcare without having a life qualifying event. So we're doing that. We're continuously updating our budget. We just got approval that our summer feeding was approved, so that's completed. I'm working on now the sponsor application for the new year for food service for 24-25, and you have to do training. I have to be trained on that because we contract. They are not allowed. We have to have a person that is employed by the district trained, so that's me. We also got our free appraisal report from CM Regent. It cost about like $10,000 to get this done. They do it for free. So we got that recently. So that that's a good, added bonus for them. On the agenda for this month, we have a couple requests for payout of unused vacation days to be approved. The athletic department is asking us to approve big teams agreement. The Lenape budget needs approved and the casting of the ballots for their budget. Dr. Merlino and Dr. Kupis provide school dental and school physician services. These are just updated 2-year agreements. Neither of them up their rates. So the rates everything is the same. The only thing in the agreement that changed were the dates. Our 24-25 general fund preliminary budget is going to be approved at the next meeting. And I gave everybody a little handout because I'm not exactly sure we don't know where the TV went. So I gave everybody a handout so that we can it's just a quick update as to where we are right now, what you're going to be approving next meeting. So some of the revenue changes that we've had since we talked last, we increased our special education funding. So I went to a seminar that PASBO gave, and they gave us some pretty clear insights as to what they think the governor's budget is actually going to look like and get approved. So based off of what they told us, we did some adjusting to our basic ed and special ed subsidy. There's also a piece called the adequacy gap, and they suggested that we add that revenue. They think there's a good chance that we'll get that revenue, but to then add it also in expenditures to offset it. So it doesn't really throw off your budget at all, but you do see that additionally in your revenue goes higher, but your expenditures go higher. So it just offsets each other. And I put the expenditures in the contingency because we're actually not sure that we're going to get that money. So we're looking at a little over $200,000 if we get that adequacy gap revenue. I added the PCCD grant revenue. We have 3 grants that we're definitely getting. Well, we're getting 4 grants, but the 4th one, we're not sure yet how much we're actually getting. So that's the only one that's not added as of yet. We did get property tax relief. That is our homestead farmstead. We got a significant increase. It went up by $113,568, which increases the homestead to all of our taxpayers with an additional $70 in homestead relief. Our contingency is $50,000, $100,000. I'm not counting the adequacy gap. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble saying that. In there, so that's still just, on our expenditures, we had some staff changes, so we accounted for that. We approved the new copier lease. We accounted for that. That was a significant savings, like $40,000. I added the PCCD grant expenditures to offset the revenue. And then I've updated the benefit changes that I had so far, but there is a possibility that we'll get more before the end of the month. So that'll be on your final budget. The next sheet is the STEB numbers. I left that in there because apparently there was a number that was not correct in the one that was out. And someone told me about it. Thank you. So I just updated, one of the formulas it didn't calculate, I guess. So two of the lines looked like it was the same number. So I just updated the formula. So this is the correct number. And it was in a previous year. So it wasn't a current year that we were actually looking at, but I appreciate the heads up on that. So projected revenue for 24-25, we're looking at $15,878,672. That's an increase from our previous conversations of $585,000 in revenue. Now, 200,000 of that is your adequacy gap revenue and some other things. I also reached out to our bank because we are just doing a phenomenal job on interest this year. Like we budgeted 40,000 and through March, we're already over almost at 225,000 in interest income. So we are killing it there. But is that going to continue? Because I'm hearing that the interest rates are going to go down and we don't want to over budget in a column that, so I did reach out to them and she thinks that they are going to go down slightly, but they're not predicting like they were previously that they're going to drop significantly. So we were able to up that number a little bit too, to hopefully be more in line with what we're actually going to take in. And then in expenses, we're looking at a total right now of $16,476,400. And that went up about $61,400 from when we previously talked. So again, that was some staffing changes, benefit changes, things like that that were on the initial page. So if you flip to your bottom line, our projected loss now at year end is 447,000, which is a significant drop from where we were at before. So we were able to cut out almost $500,000 in expenditures. So we've worked really hard at that. So I think there's more to come. So hopefully this is going to be, when you guys go to approve your final budget, I'd love to see that number in half of that. So we're going to keep working at it. And then I just gave you guys the scenario. I still like to keep you, so you can kind of see what it looks like if you would decide to increase at where you're at right now at no increase. Your millage is at Armstrong's at 68.48. Westmoreland's at 158.61. That's your deficit of 447,728. And then what that looks like for your taxpayers. And then if you increase in 0.5%, 1%, it shows you I just wanted to give you show you how that looks in millage wise and how your deficit looks on those increases. And then always just your last page is your fund balance. When we had this page before, your projected ending fund balance at the end of 24-25 was in the 3 million. So with this new projected loss, you're going to be over 4 million at the end of the year. So, and again, like I said, I think we can get it down even more before the final budget comes out. Are there any questions on anything? No? Okay, so just continuing on, we have hand dryers that we're asking that you approve that we can put those on municipal bid to sell to the highest bidder. Government software, they do our tax bill printing. They do the homestead, farmstead. We have some student activity funds that haven't been used for a while. They had small balances in them. So we looked at the policy and it says that if you haven't had a transaction in there in several years, that you can dissolve the fund basically, and it goes into your national honor, or not national honor, I'm sorry, student council, high school student council. So we actually have 5 funds that we're not using and we haven't used. I went back 5 years and they haven't had a transaction in 5 years. So we're just asking if we can just dissolve those accounts and move them into the student council. We have a Delphi, that's just our regular service agreement for next year. We'll have our budget transfers to approve. Glade Run Lutheran is, we have no students there right now, but just in case we would, that's just an agreement that we would like to have set up. And then your April financial reports. So any questions on any of that? It was pretty quick.
Thank you.
Good, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mrs. Ettinger, for your work on that. Like I said, I think that was a tremendous work over the last couple months of working with that budget. And I do think we can work a little harder on that, and we'll find a few more things that we can save on.
We need a motion to approve the April 2024 meeting minutes.
So moved.
Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Now moving on to all of the discussion items at our voting meeting in 2 weeks. Well, some are action items tonight, but we will have the athletic supplemental positions, the non-athletic supplemental positions. We'll be looking at summer custodial worker. We have a new custodian hire and district superintendent contract. The elementary principal stipend, employee number 346 retirement. These are all personnel. Are there any questions or discussion on any of those items? For budget and finance, we have payout of unused vacation days. Item 7.2, the big teams agreement. 7.3, the Lenape 24-25 budget approval. 7.4, the Lenape 24-25 casting of ballots. 7.5, Dr. Molino School Dental Services, the 24 through 26 agreement. Dr. Kupas School Physician Services, the 24 through 26 agreement. And the approval coming up of the general fund preliminary budget, that's 7.7. Are there any discussion or any questions on any of those items? Okay. Item 7.8, the sale of hand dryers. 7.9, the 2024 government software agreement. Item 7.10 is the student activity dissolution transfer of funds that Ms. Ettinger just mentioned. Any discussion or questions on any of those items? The 20,
Sorry,
Go ahead.
I was a little disappointed to see that some of those aren't being used anymore. My kids were involved in some of those, and I didn't realize that they weren't in how long now, so that's all I'll say about that.
the 24-25 Adelphi Education Services Agreement. 7.12 is the April 2024 budget transfers. Questions or discussion on any of those? Item 7.13 is the Glade Run Lutheran Agreement. Do we have any additional questions or discussion on that, or you feel comfortable with it?
I mean, the agreement was made on it was put right on the agenda for the public to see, correct? They saw it.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah. Yeah, it was on there, and I did get an update from Mr. Comore on that. It's a new agreement. We didn't have an agreement with them before, but reaching out just so if we would have a student that needs placed there, we have an agreement in place for that time.
Item 7.14 is approval of the financial reports. And then we move on to use of facilities. 8.1, we have multiple use of facilities requests. Everybody's had a chance to review those. You don't need me to read them, right? Okay. The field trip requests, we'll have just a couple. Spanish 4 and 5 and the senior class trip on May 22nd. And then Dr. Keebler, do you have a report?
Yeah, I have some updates here. First off, I want to announce our Leechburg Elks winners for the contest that were on there. The Americanism essay contest, Adriana Sabat won in 5th grade. The drug awareness poster contest, Erica Klein in 3rd grade. Adeline Vargo in 4th grade. Cyree World in 5th grade. Essay contest was Jane Harkleroad in 7th grade. And the video winner was Eric McDonald. So they're both large. Cyree World's Jane Harkleroad and Adriana Sabat were both Lodge and West Central Division winners. So Major Shea will be coming in to take that picture. He got tied up today and travel coming back, so we'll get that picture. We'll get that posted out there too. But congratulations to those students. A little bit of an update that we've been working with STEB. We did work with Mr. Walker to go back through doing the appeal process with that. We were able to get 7 properties validated through the appeal process with Armstrong County and working with Kathleen Beer. Going back and working with Renee Reynolds, and her exact words on there were the 21 cells, we're going to leave them alone because there's a negative variance, and that negative variance would use the previous years, which would bump us back to 2020, which would be a negative impact on West Leechburg on there. But we did find 2 in 2022 that are going to increase the market values, and we'll bring that down. The issue with the part of that is that we missed a deadline just because of where we were at with that, but it will be part of our appeal that comes through this summer. So it will be backdated into what happens for next year on that. And I do want to make the public comment that we will come out with, as Dr. Kudre brought to the thought process, and we met with Kevin Smith up in West Leechburg. We are going to put together a package to do a refund for West Leechburg. We'll have the details for those at our next meeting, but trying to work to balance that out. We're very aware over the last couple of months of hearing from our residents, and it's ultimately our job to figure that out. So I think we can make a step to go through talking with the state. We do have some bite in trying to get STEP changed on that, working with legislators on there. But as we put those two pieces together, this will help us here. We have those appeals that will go in over the summer. We'll file an appeal July 1st as soon as 2023 comes out, and 2022 will go in with 2023 as we do that for that part. Some of this stuff was already done. We've had some great concerts. I know that Mr. Morochek had shared the ones coming up, but I just want to commend our students in the band and chorus for the concerts they've put on over the last month. There's been some great things going on with that. I met with the admin team this year. We went through end of the year evaluations, and it was really good. As I talked with Mr. Comar on there, we're looking at not only evaluating what we did, but what are those next steps? How do we bring these programs to the next level of what we're trying to do? We have $8,000 available this summer for summer learning loss that was part of the ESSERS grants. So what we're going to work on, and one of my top priorities is working with our 6th grade parents. Anybody who has a 6th grade student, there has been some unfriendly issues that have gone on with that. Part of it, we've had teacher turnover, what's going on with that. So we've continued to work, but I've looked, we have that money, so the priority will look at those 6th grade students and make sure we can help anybody who would like help over the summer, whether it's small group instruction, whether it's private tutoring on that, with using this money on there. And then any money left over from there, we're looking to put a STEM camp together and bring some teachers in to do a 4-day STEM camp with that remaining money. And that was all part of the ESSER money that came in a few years back, and it needs to be spent by September of this year. And that's all I have there. At the elementary, as we said, the PTA held their color run, and they were able to raise over $9,000 for the elementary PTA. If anybody was there, hopefully next year go. It was a wonderful day. We had a great show out. The rain got through, and we got through with it, so it was pretty good with that. Field trips are ongoing. As Mr. Rochik said, K graduation coming up on May 24th. On May 23rd is our field day up at Veterans Field. We'll have a bunch of activities. We'll take all the kids up to the field for the day. They'll have lunch up there. And then on May 28th, the day after Memorial Day, is the glow party, where they'll get to have a glow party and ice cream while they're there. Everything that I have. Does anybody have any questions? Thank you.
We have board-related issues. Item 11.1 is the bus schedule changes. Item 11.2 is bus drivers and bus substitutes, the updated list. 11.3 is the board committee schedule updated. We'll be approving that new calendar. 11.4 is the first reading of policy 300, the higher the best policy. Any discussion on any of those items? $11.5 is the first reading of policy 303, employment of family members. 11.6 is an updated organization chart for the district. Do we have any discussion or comments on those? Okay. A motion is needed to approve the appointment of Dr. David Keebler as District Superintendent for the Leechburg Area School District for a term of 5 years. This is item 12.1.
Second.
5 years, beginning the first day of July 2024 pursuant to sections 1071 and 1073 of the Public School Code of 1949 as amended.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, or do we want to do a roll call?
Roll call vote.
Mr. Lovelace?
Yes.
Mr. Mattson?
Yes.
Mr. Paulus?
Yes.
Ms. Stewart? Yes. Mr. Townsend?
Yes.
Mr. Dunbar? Ms. Knight?
Yes.
Mr. Lavish?
Yes.
Dr. Kudurin?
Yes. Motion passes. Congratulations, Dr. Keebler.
No, and I think, thank you, obviously, as I've shared with the board. It's an honor to take on this position as we continue to improve what we're giving to our students as well as our staff here. It's an exciting time. As we've worked at the elementary over the last 8 years, I look forward to building that on with our new admin team going through that. And I really just thank you for this opportunity. It's a great district to work in, and really looking forward to taking the next step and moving us forward on that. And I do want to apologize and thank for my family not being here. Wednesday nights are our practice nights, and my wife has all 3 kids down Pittsburgh, and she's been running. So I do want to thank her as well publicly for the running she's done with that. But it's just part of the game that goes with that. She understands that part of it. But thank you all for that, and I look forward to working with everybody in the community as well with that.
And no non-agenda public comment this evening. So the next meeting will be held in the Leechburg High School Library on May 22nd, 2024 at 7 p.m. Do we have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Discussion. All in favor? Meeting adjourned at 7:47 p.m.
Thank you.
Bye.
Well, the last one was pretty quick too. You want me to come on with these? Okay. Okay, I can do that.